I hold in my hand a pair of glasses that I wore for about 2 years, up until about 3 weeks ago. About 3 or 4 months before that, I was playing my weekly squash game with my friend Gareth, and we played best of 7. So I had 3 games, he had won 3 games. We were playing our final game, and it was near match point. I was sweating away, he was sweating away. My glasses were falling off my face, and it was just the final point, and I lunged to reach the ball, and my glasses fell off my face, and I lost the game. So I came home, and the first thing I told my wife is, I'm sick of these glasses, and I'm sick of wearing contact lenses, and quite frankly, I'm also sick of looking like a nerd, because they actually make me look like a nerd. So,
Go for this.
Wow.
I did it myself.
Okay. So that's exactly what I told my wife. I said, and my wife is here, Olivia. So I told her, I'm sick of it. I'm actually going to go and get eye surgery done. So that's the first thing I did what most of us would do in this room, is I went to the internet, I went online, basically I just grabbed my phone and started Googling how not to wear glasses, or how to get rid of glasses. Then once I started knowing what I was looking for, I started Googling eye surgery, and from there I went on to LASIK and so on. So I then realized, okay, that's for me. I looked at a couple of ophthalmologists and eye clinics here in Bahrain, and looked at their websites and found 1 or 2. And I remember the first one, going to the homepage of the first website, and I'm going to read you the lines that were on this page. Performing different refractive procedures, mainly LASIK, by the most experienced team of eye surgeons using the state-of-the-art laser equipments. What does that mean to you? Moving, right? What I did then was I looked at their website, a few other pages. They had no frequently asked questions. They had no videos, no pictures, no idea. They didn't give me any idea of what it would be like to pay someone quite a considerable amount of money, cut open my cornea, shoot laser beams into my eyes. For me to be able to have enough trust in somebody to do that, I would really need to know that they know how to do what I'm paying them to do.
Totally agree. I did the same thing.
So the final thing I did, I said, okay, I've looked at a couple of places, let me give them a call. I gave them a call, and the first thing the lady said on the phone was, when I said I want to do eye surgery, she said, do you want to do LASIK, or do you want to do LASIK? And I said, I have no clue. All I want to do is I don't want to wear my glasses, I don't want to wear contacts anymore, and I want to stop looking like a nerd. Can you help me? The conversation didn't go too far. So then I was, a little bit disappointed, but then I got in touch with my father-in-law, and I knew that I was going to Helsinki for Christmas. So I said, do you know anywhere that can help me? And he put me in touch with an ophthalmologist in Helsinki, in Espoo. The first thing I did is I looked online, and I remember the first piece of language that I saw on their homepage. Now their homepage was written in Finnish, but my browser was translating it into English, okay? So this is rough translation. Laser eye surgery is the best option when contact lenses hinder your life and you want to get rid of glasses. Do the glasses hinder your hobbies or harm your work? Are your contact lenses uncomfortable? Check, 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 a series of yeses. I then looked further on their website, and they had a video tutorial of a lady walking into a reception that looks very much as glamorous as this one here at Surf Corp. She walks in, she speaks in Finnish. I didn't understand anything. Well, I can swear a little bit in Finnish, but that's about it. And then she gets tested, then she gets the surgery, then the following part is her recovering. So I said, okay, at least I can walk myself, and I'm seeing her in the video, but I'm walking myself through that whole process. I said, I can do that. If she can do it, I can do it. And the final thing I did was I picked up the phone and I called the lady in Helsinki, and I said, can you help me do eye surgery? And she didn't ask me whether I want LASIK or LASIK, because I have no clue. She asked me, why do you want laser surgery? but why do you want eye surgery? Now that's a much better question. It's a really easy question, it's a much better question. So I ended up going to this place and I ended up paying them twice as much as what I would have paid when I was in Bahrain. Twice as much, and I'm not talking about 20 or 30 dinars here. I'm talking about a couple of $1,000s more to cut open my cornea, shoot laser beams into my eyes and walk away. The experience was everything that I thought it would be. It was a wonderful experience. I don't wear glasses anymore. And there are a couple of key learnings here that I want to share with you today with that story. And I think it's really important to highlight that the way we buy these days is very different from how we used to buy 10 or 20 years ago. Today, we are in a new age of sales, and the way we used to buy is completely different than the way we used to buy. Now, the fundamentals are the same. The relationship that you need to have with your customers is always needed. You've always needed to have a relationship with your customers, and you always will need to have a relationship with your customers. But what I will say is that tactically, you need to approach them in a certain way. And that's what I want to share with you tonight in the 6 or 7 minutes I have left. We have a lot of clients at ACK that come to us and say, we want to sell more. We want to get to know our customers better and we want to sell more. And one of the first things I tell them is sales ain't what it used to be. It's completely different. And there's 3 things that I want to highlight in this story. The first is not something terribly revolutionary. Know your customers. And what's the best way to know your customers? Anybody? To ask them. Ask them what they want. It's pretty simple. Nothing revolutionary there. Henry Ford, 100 years ago, was producing the Model T. And he said, you can have it in any color as long as it's black. I'm sure you've all heard that one before, right? You know why he said that?
Yes.
Because he didn't have to care about production, right? He didn't have to care about marketing, didn't have to care about sales. He knew that everyone's going to buy his product.
Yeah,
Correct?
because the black paint dries fastest.
Perfect, perfect. The black paint dries fastest. Perfect. 50 years on, companies like Henry Ford's company and all these other companies had to start worrying about sales and had to start going to customers door to door, knocking and saying, excuse me, I've got this product, would you like to buy it? Fast forward 20 or 30 years after that, you've got companies needing to sell even more and needing to know their customers even better. And that's where we are right now. The second important thing is to use messages that stick. Now, what do I mean here? Insurance companies, and I know somebody here in this room is from an insurance company, but I'm going to say it anyway. Insurance companies do not sell insurance. Anyone that says that they sell insurance should not be in insurance, in my opinion. Insurance companies sell peace of mind. Advertising companies do not sell advertising. Advertising companies help others to sell more and help others to raise awareness about a product or a service. Accountants, they do not sell accounting. That's crazy. Accountants sell the ability for an entrepreneur or a business to save time and have to worry about other things. That's exactly what I mean by messages that stick. You are not in the business of selling what you sell. You are in the business of selling what your customers want. And that's a completely different mindset that a lot of companies get wrong. The third thing, and the final thing I'm going to say, is to be useful. And what I mean by useful is nothing more than when you have your website or any other material, just to make it easy enough for somebody to be able to walk through, especially with a high value, complex purchase. What you want to do is you want to be able to allow your customer to walk through exactly what it means to buy from you. So what I mean specifically is write articles, create videos. They don't need to be good. They don't need to be fantastic. They just need to show the customer what it's like to work with you. It's as simple as that. I mean, I'll give you an example. A few years ago when I bought my first car, okay, it was a second-hand car. And I bought it from a guy called Ali. And I met Ali, shook his hand, saw his car. It's a Mercedes. It was a really nice looking Mercedes. You know, as a first car, it's not too bad. Really nice interior, really nice exterior. But I know nothing about cars. Absolutely useless. Ask Olivia, my wife. I'm absolutely useless when it comes to cars. So I asked the guy, Ali, have you had an accident in this car? Because I asked my friend, what do I do? What do I look for when I buy a car? And he said, ask them if they had an accident in the car, at least. I asked him, Ali, have you had an accident in this car before? He's like, no, mafi mushkila, no problem in the car, no problem in the car. I say, okay, great. So, boom, driving the car 1 or 2 months later, and the wheels start to shake a little bit, and the AC smells and doesn't work, and I'm sweating away. I said, okay, let me take it to the garage. So I take it to the Mercedes garage. They lift it up, and there's 2 garage guys in their overalls are standing there, and they look up, and the other guy looks up. So I don't know what to do in this situation, so I just do what they do. I look up, and they're pointing, so I start pointing, and I say, oh, okay, wow. And I have no idea what I'm looking at. And the guy looks at me, he looks back up, and he looks at me, he looks back up, and he comes back and he says, your car is great. I say, thank God, okay, this isn't going to cost me too much, this is great. And he looks back up and he says, pity it's been in an accident. The point here is the way we buy these days is very different from the way we used to buy. Before, and this was some years ago when I bought this car, before there was and this disparity between the information that a buyer had and the information that a seller had. A seller would have all the information and be able to disseminate it in a as he pleases. And the buyer was at his mercy if he wanted to buy. But today, in today's world, in today's new age of selling, the buyer has equal amounts of power when it comes to information. A buyer goes online, and I'm sure all of you have done this, when you're looking to buy a product or a service that you haven't bought before, first thing you do is you go online and you research it. Even if you want to buy a second-hand car, maybe not in Bahrain, but certainly in the Western world, you can search the registration number or the DMV number, chassis number, and find out if it's had any major accidents or repairs. It's a standard thing outside of Bahrain. So those are the 3 things that I'm going to leave with you. Know your customers, messages that stick, and being useful. If any of this has been exciting enough or insightful enough in your journey towards selling more, then I'm delighted. Thank you very much.
Thank you.